let me tell you about my next guest, Annie Campbell. So in 2016, she was working in pharmaceuticals, and then she realised that she wanted to work from home. 2017, she did start to work from home, but then realised that her work life and her social life was suffering. 2018, she sold a house, moved to South Wales, where she once again became the outdoorsy type of person that she used to be. 2019, she became disengaged at work and realised that she wanted her own business. 2020, do you know what? She went out and did it. She's made it reality. But now we're in 2023. So what is she up to now? That felt a bit like Michael Parkinson, This Is Your Life without the red book. What an amazing life and a journey that you have gone through.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what? To step out in faith and to think to yourself, I want to do this and I'm going to go for it. What you've done is a big step. Yeah. Tell me why you decided to do this.
Do you know, it's weird because it literally just started with the realisation that I was not happy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was literally like a light bulb moment. I was lying, I vividly remember it, lying in bed and thinking to myself, I don't want to do the meeting tomorrow. I don't want to do it. And I thought, well, if I don't want to do it, what else do I want to do?
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, I know that I definitely do not want to be in that environment. Mm-hmm. I want to do this because I love what I do, but from home, you know? But I literally then was looking for a needle in a haystack to try and find what I did from home. I mean, it wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even a thing. But to make sure that I actually did what I said I was going to do, which is work from home, I bought a dog.
Okay.
I bought a dog because I thought if I buy a dog, then it's going to make sure that my next job, my next move will be from home.
Right.
Because I'm not going to pay someone to walk my dog.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm going to do. So I got my dog, started working from home, loved it, and moved to South West Wales, was living my dream literally, started surfing, all manner of different things, skateboarding, mountain biking. And I thought, you know what? Now that my work life's great, my social life's great in terms of the activities I was doing.
Yeah.
Something doesn't feel right at work now.
Oh dear.
I know. But that's when I realised this is all about purpose.
Okay.
It's all about purpose. You know, what I was doing was I was selling drugs essentially to GPs.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah.
Got a bit hot there.
Breathe. Okay, yeah. And so I thought, you know, this isn't purposeful. Mm-hmm. I didn't do this job. I did this job for different reasons. I got into it, you know, for the money, for the career side of things. That was what I got into it for. That was 17 years ago.
Yeah.
I've grown since then. I've developed since then. And what I wanted was something purposeful, you know. But, you know, I couldn't think of what it was that I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to start my own business, but I was too scared.
Yeah.
I was way too scared because I thought I'd fail. And I thought I'd fail because I thought, I know me as a person and I have to be super passionate about what I do to be really good at it.
Yeah.
And I thought, but there's nothing that I'm so passionate about that I could do it as a job.
Yeah.
You know, I'm passionate about my dog, but what am I going to do? Do that as a job? I mean, you know. And then I suddenly realised that what I then spoke out loud and said, what are you really passionate about, Annie? What are you honestly really passionate about? Just name anything. The dog, the cat. I love the way that I've transformed my life. Oh, hang on a sec. I love the way that I've transformed my life. But that's not a job. And then I kid you not, literally maybe a week, 2 weeks later, I was watching, I don't know if you've ever seen it, The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh, yes.
Right, well, there you go. One of them on there was a life coach.
Right.
And it just happened to pop up again. And she said something like, yeah, well, I'm a life coach. And I thought, should I do? And she described what she did. And I was like, that's my job.
Right.
I found it. That's my job. So I thought, right, okay. And I put a plan together. I thought, right, this year I'm going to enjoy the summer and just go absolutely just wild and do things that I've never even dreamt of doing, but just do them. Mm-hmm. Because I know for the next 2 years, it's going to be just hard work, getting into it and building a business. The plan was to find a course, a life coaching course. So I was properly accredited and certified. Did that. Obviously passed the course and then thought, right, that's it. Let's do this. In the meantime, I was still working as a rep.
Right.
And then I just happened to say to a friend one day, you know, I really need just a little bit more time just to get this up and running before I leave. Because I was planning to obviously leave in September. And I jest you not, Simone, a week later, we had an email saying we've got a video conference. And the video conference, they said to us, we're making you redundant. I was like, my life is ask and you shall receive.
Right.
So I literally asked for this. I asked for more time.
Yeah, but
and I got more time.
When stuff like redundancy, losing your job, even when the lockdown and COVID happened, you automatically think to yourself, but I'm not prepared, I'm not ready for that. Sometimes if you're going to leave a job, you will make yourself ready for that. You'll make sure all your eggs are in the... Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for that to happen, I know that you're saying that it's a blessing, but there must have still been an element in you that was scared. No?
Honestly, this is true story. I'm actually still dealing with this person now. The HR person that dealt with the redundancy, so you have to go through the whole redundancy process. She said, you know what's really funny, Annie? You are the happiest redundant person I've ever seen. And I thought, it's because I've already got my plan.
Yeah.
I've already got my plan. All that's happened is I did my plan, but what I failed to realise was the time it takes to build a business. Yeah, the structure of it takes a lot of time. And I failed to understand that. So because I failed to understand that, I then asked for that time back. Listen, you know what? I've made a mistake here. Let's just try and get some time. How can we get some time? Let's just really think about this. And it just happened.
Right.
It literally just happened. And I just had the time then. And I was like, this is amazing. I'm literally living my best life. You know? And I was just there building it up. And just looked at different avenues of where I wanted to go. And that's what I've done. We've just really built the business to a point now we've got a great focus. You know, we're focused on what I've really struggled with my whole working life, which is disengaged employees. Right. You know, my belief, honestly, Simone, is that everybody should wake up excited, motivated and passionate about the day ahead, not just when they get home from work, when they're at work.
Right.
You know, why are we settling for, well, I'll just get through the day, but because when I get home, at least I go home to my wife or get to play football, or why can't the whole day be great? You know, and this is where I think we need, and I think this is what COVID helped. I think people started realising then about work-life balance. Yeah. People started taking their mental health seriously, you know, their life seriously, you know, which included work, you know. And so this is why, you know, I do what I do, we do what we do. It's because we really care, you know, about people living happy, fulfilled lives.
We're going to get into the life coaching session, and I know you said we is Davina. Davina is here as well, Davina Campbell, who does the marketing for the life coaching Manchester. If you just joined us, I am here in the studio with Davina Campbell, and also I've got Annie Campbell as well. They both run a life coach workshop session group, and basically what they'd like to do is to give you advice of how you can overcome problems that you've got, not just with life, but how you can be happy through work. And that's what we were just touching on before, how you didn't feel that happiness and you thought it was time for you to move on. And something that got me is, I think we have that, sometimes it can even be January blues. Do you know, when you're going back after work, you've got that feeling that you don't feel happy. So how do you know when it gets to the point when it's time for you to move on and to do something else in life?
You've got to explore yourself, you know, and that's the thing, and that's what I didn't do, you know, and I felt like I was on, and a lot of people feel like this. I know this, I speak to a lot of people, I've coached a lot of people, where you feel like you're on a train, right? So it's almost like you're born, and then you've got the expectations. You're born with no beliefs. You don't believe anything, yeah? It's people around you, your caregivers, that give you those beliefs that you hold. Yeah, and that really does dictate your life and the way you perceive life. Yeah. So you're on this train, and you're almost taught you've got to do these things. Yeah. So you've got to go to school, you've got to go to college, you've got to go to university, you've got to have a partner, you've then got to get married, you've got to buy a house, you've got to have kids, you've got to earn loads of money, you've got to have a good career, you've got to have a nice car, you've got to live in a nice area. All of these things. All of these things. But guess what? You do all of those things, or versions of those, and you achieve those. And then when you get to around about between 35 and 45, statistics say 37, you then sit there and go, I've got all of this, but I feel unfulfilled. Right. I feel unfulfilled. Yeah. And that's at that point, and this happens with lots of people. Some people call it the midlife crisis. Okay. Yeah. And they get to that point, and then they realise what life's actually about. And life is actually not about following a script or what society want you to do or what your parents expect you to do. Your life's actually about, guess what? You.
I like that.
Right?
I like that. Yeah.
That's how it is. Your life's about you. And when you realise that.
I was speaking to another guest this morning. She was called Imani, and we were talking about meditation and being the best version of you. And I mentioned to her about, I had a mentor that was saying, right, what I want you to do is write down everything that you're good at. And I was saying, it's so easy for you to write down what you're bad at.
Yep.
And sometimes when you feel that you are putting down on paper or speaking out loud what you're good at, that you feel like you're being boasty. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm all that and a bag of chips. But how is it that you can do this and feel comfortable with doing that?
Okay, so this is an interesting question. I'm glad you've asked it, because what I find is the biggest thing that happens with people is they discount their achievements and what they're good at, like you say. The best way to do it is to think to yourself, okay, if I can't think of what I'm good at, and this is what I had to do, because I had extreme low confidence, extreme low self-esteem. You wouldn't think it, like I told you before, I played rugby for England, I've been rep of the year, etc., all different things. But I still thought, I'm just rubbish. Mm-hmm. I'm rubbish. Do you know what I mean? And then I had to go back and say, okay, is this true? That's what you need to think. Fact or fiction, yeah? Am I making that up? Yeah. Or is that actual fact? So, Annie, you're saying that you're rubbish. You're rubbish at your job. You're no good at anything. Okay, so what would my best friend say? What has she said?
Yeah.
What has my other best friend said? What has my parents said? What have all these people what my boss said? What have my colleagues said? And when you start writing down, and it's key to write down. Top tips, write things down or talk out loud. Yeah, there's a reason why talking therapies work. Yeah, and this is just a tip for everyone, because a lot of people do this and don't understand it. A lot of people will talk in their head. Yeah, so they'll have conversations in their heads and they go round and round and round, and then that's what you call a problem. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a problem until you get it out. Talking therapies work because when you talk to someone else, your brain has to then construct that sentence or that notion so that somebody else can understand it.
Right.
So the minute it comes out of your mouth, your brain's already made it legible and understandable. Yeah. When it's just going in your brain, it's just going round and round as gobbledygoo. And that's why you can't figure out problems a lot of the time until you say to someone, do you know what, Simone, I've got a problem. And you go, what is it? Well, the thing is I need to go to the shop and get, you know what, I just worked it out. It's because you've already constructed it in a way that makes sense so you understand it. And once you've understood it yourself, you then realise you now know how to solve the problem.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so write stuff down and talk things through verbally yourself. I do it every single day on my walks, every single morning. Every single day I will literally walk along the street with my dog, talking out what's happening for the day, what are my happiness levels, or if they're not happy at 10, why is it not a 10 and why is it a 9? What do I need to do to get to a 10 today to be like 100% happy? Right. Yeah, and that's what you need to do, because I understand that whole concept of I feel really braggy and boasty. We don't have to feel braggy and boasty if other people are braggy and boasty for you.
Yeah. You've got a YouTube channel that's out, a YouTube series.
Yeah.
I want to get more hints and tips, so please tell me where I can get this, please.
So,
what's it called? Yeah.
Davina knows all of the social media. Simone, I only got on social media 3 months ago. And that was because of the business.
So Davina, over to you. Social media and YouTube.
You can find us anywhere as ANCA Life Coaching. So it's ANCA Life Coaching. We're on Instagram, on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. We're even on, well, we're on TikTok, but that's another thing. That's a separate thing. That's not ANCA Life Coaching. So there's a little series on YouTube at the moment called Just Think About It, where Annie does like sort of sound bites of just little things to think about, like why you're stuck, little stories, anecdotes of how you can become unstuck, little things you can do, little tips for the day. So we've done a few of those and we'll do some more of those. We follow her on Instagram as well. Like she post little things here and there on the story and both on the feed, and we're just kind of building that up to help people get through the day. like I said, we're focusing a lot on the work day. So we've got some blog posts coming up and some new videos and things coming out. Just did a really cute little cartoon, didn't we, for the for the website.
And the thing is as well, I think I don't even know how you say it. Is it a meme or a meme or one of those things?
Yeah.
And someone actually put that you spend the most time of your life at work, so be happy in it. And when you break it down like that, you 8-9 hours of your day is at work, commuting there, coming back from there. So make sure you're happy in your workplace. Can I thank you both for joining me? I could speak to you for the whole 2 hours I've got left. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much to Annie and also to Davina for joining me today here on BBC Radio Manchester. Hit them up, look out for their social media pages that they've just given us. And also as well, those little hints and tips that Annie's given us today, take them forward. Tomorrow is the start of a new week. Let's go for it.